my mom and dad reconnected again, because in our culture, like, moms and dads always try to make it work, no matter what. So they put it up together for quite some time. Finally separated. Then we moved to Toronto. I grew up in Toronto. Fast forward, lived there all my life. Went to school. That's where I found my grounding. That's where I found my photography. That's where I found my schooling, my studies. My foundation was really there. So pretty much I would say I was raised in Toronto, but Bali adopted me.
I mean, this is a thing that not many people actually know about you, is your photography.
Yeah.
Because in Bali, you're like the event guy, right? You're the event king. Like, you've created some of the most fantastic events here that everyone goes to, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, how did you go from photography into event business? Because you're still running events in Montreal, in Montreal, Toronto,
yeah.
before you came over.
Yeah.
So were you doing both at the same time, or?
So how it started? It's a great question, by the way. How it started was I was working for a corporate company, which is a big telecommunications firm. I was a marketing analyst, and I was literally like a monkey in a box, working 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and devoted my life there for like 10 years. And what happened was, around that time, my best friend was doing photography, and he wanted to sell his used camera. So I used my tax return, and I bought a camera for $1,000, and it was just sitting there. I bought it because I was going on a trip with my girlfriend to Jamaica. And my trip back, the HR department brought me in. They're like, Drew, just have a seat. And I'm like, I don't know if this sounds good. And they're like, listen, it's either you or your coworker Daisy that's about to retire, but we're doing some restructuring right now, and we're going to have to let you go. We see that you're getting into photography, and I know that we made the right decision because she's just about to retire and get her pension, and you're just an aspiring photographer. We'll give you a year severance, and you'll figure it out. And that's what happened. So I dived into photography. And how I got into photography was a nightlife photographer. I started doing gigs from $50, worked my way up. And that's how I built my brand. And from there, I had a studio. I photographed for about 8 to 10 years. And I realized the money was much more better in event hospitality, because I realized that I was a master of ceremonies, and just love doing that since, man. I still do photos. Here and there I have a couple of muses. Of course, we're in Bali. I'll photograph. But my main bread and butter right now is throwing beautiful ceremonies for people to have a good time and come back to again.
So how did you learn the craft of, because obviously you're in photography, so you get to be in the mix of what makes people happy, what makes people drink, what makes the club money. How did you figure out what makes good events? Did you shadow someone, or did someone bring you in? How did you understand the event game?
Great question. So what happened was, I was in grade 8 and I was going on a school trip. And what happened was, I was going on a school trip with my buddies, and we're going to Quebec, which is another province outside Ontario. We're going to Quebec to go see sightseeing and whatnot. On the way back, my boy, his name is Matthew, and I don't want to say his last name. He had a porn magazine, and he said, hey, we're going to go back to Toronto. Do you want to keep this magazine? Because I don't want to take it home because I don't get any shit. I'm like, honestly, I don't want it either, because I'm 13 years old. I don't want to get busted with the porn mag. It's a Playboy magazine. Long story short, I decided to keep the magazine and go home, but I decided to rip it apart and flush it on the toilet. When my stepdad came in, he found out I forgot to flush on one piece of paper. He snitched on me to my mom, and she's like, that's it. I have a son. He's a pervert. You go to all-boys school. And I was like, no, I want to go to regular school so I can go to prom. She's like, if you do good grades for the next 3 years, from grade 9 to grade 11, I promise you go to a co-ed school. So what I did, as a good kid, I studied, bust my ass, got good grades, and ended up in grade 12 in a co-ed school, which is called Sir Oliver Mowat. But then I realized I had no friends because all my friends were from my old school. Long story short, my birthday's in November. I decided to meet up with London chicks. I was working with a student counselor. Her name was Maya, super cute chick. And I asked her if I could use the computer. And I was like, my birthday's coming up. I'm going to put together an event to make some friends. So I typed up, you're cordially invited to Drew's 16th birthday party at Frankie Tomatoes, DJ and live music and all you can eat.